I give a lot of lessons on writing music, specifically prog, and the most glaring deficiency I see in most of my students is the ability to write a melody. I hear all kinds of awesome riffs and rhythms and chords, but very rarely do I hear good, strong melodies. I want to take a look at 3 melodies today and talk about their structure, note choice, and phrasing in hopes of shining a light on some of the things that make a good melody. If you'd like access to the sheet music for this lesson and all of my other lessons, you can join my Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube. I also give private lessons if you'd like some more personal feedback on your own music. Links to all of that is in this video's description. I've picked the choruses of 3 songs here. These are quite varied stylistically, and they're all vocal melodies, but the techniques being used can work in every style of music and in instrumental music as well. First up is a song from the brand new Periphery record.
The heart stops beating, her life so fleeting. We're leaving them on the road, leaving them on for the tears and grieving. The world keeps breathing, but everyone dies alone. Everyone dies alone.
This is the chorus of Everyone Dies Alone. I chose this as an example of a super simple, very catchy, almost pop-like melody. Even in more complex styles of music like prog, we don't always want to lose that catchy, hooky, melodic sense. Sometimes a very singable melody can help tie a complex song together and help ground the more over-the-top parts of that song. The chorus melody is 16 measures long, but it's really just an 8-bar melody that repeats twice. It's in the key of B flat minor, and the chords here are as follows. We have G flat add 9 for 4 bars, then an E flat minor 9 for 3.5 bars, a quick A flat add 9 for 2 beats, then 4 more bars of G flat add 9, and then finally to B flat minor for 3 bars, and then 1 bar of A flat add 9. In B flat minor, that's 6-4-7, 6-1-7. Super simple, right in the key the whole time. And Spencer's melody looks like this. This is a pentatonic melody coming completely out of B flat minor pentatonic. And this is a pretty common approach to melodies. As any guitarist will tell you, the good old minor pentatonic scale works great over all kinds of things. A lot of times if I'm just humming a melody in my head, it ends up being pentatonic based, and I imagine that's what happened with Spencer here. Structurally, this melody is following what is called a sentence form. You have a 2-bar basic idea. You repeat that idea. Then you move into a continuation where it goes into new territory, and then end with a cadence where the melody resolves. This is one of the main classical forms for writing melodies, and it's one you see in all kinds of music. You could also call this AABC, or even just AAB in this case. So you have an A section, and then a B section. You have a strong first melodic idea, then you repeat it to drive that melody home, and then you answer it with something different. You get the repetition so that first part is stuck in your ear, but you have variations so the melody is not too stagnant. This melody has a lot of focus on chord tones as well, and that's something we'll see in all 3 of these melodies. The first phrase starts on the 3rd of our G flat add 9. And then lands on the major 7th. Gives this chord a major 9 sound, even though the guitars are just playing an add 9 underneath. And then on the E flat minor 9, we start on the 4th, which is a tension note, but that then resolves up to the 5th of B flat. And then finally landing on the root of that chord. We get the same melody over the B flat minor the second time. And this is still a tension note, in this case the 7th of B flat minor, resolving up to the root. This is just a good, solid melody. It's structured well, it's catchy, it has a nice syncopated feel with these dotted quarter notes. So let's look at something a little bit different. This is the chorus to The Tank off of Act 3 by the Deer Hunter. The Deer Hunter is one of my favorite bands. Here's this shirt I picked up at their show a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't talked about them on the channel in a little while, but they have a lot of strong melodies, so this is a perfect place to bring them back into these videos. This melody is really strong and it follows these chords perfectly. We're in 12/8 here, and this is in the key of G minor. The chords are as follows: G minor, C minor, E flat major 7, then E minor 7 flat 5, then G minor, C minor, E flat major 7, then D7 over A to D7 in root position. Structurally, this one follows the period form, another one of the main classical forms for writing melodies. You have a 2-bar basic idea, a 2-bar response, a 2-bar return to the basic idea, and a 2-bar ending cadence. You could also think of this as being A, B, A, C. This one is much more chord tone and arpeggio focused than the Periphery melody. We have this G minor 9 arpeggio outlined in the first bar. And we take that same melody down a step, starting on the 5th of the C minor. And then in the 2-bar response, it's the same figure twice. And this is starting on the 7th of E flat major 7 and the 7th of our E minor 7 flat 5. Then you get the 2-bar basic idea again, and in the last 2 bars you have the figure from the response once, and then this line to end the chorus over the D7 chord, which is our 5 chord in G minor. And every one of those notes is from a D7 arpeggio except for this G at the end. Another really catchy melody, nice contour with these descending lines, works perfectly over the chords, and it has enough repetition to get stuck in your head without being too repetitive. Now let's look at a classic prog melody.
And you'd be the one who was laughing, except when things weren't going your way. And then the lady would say that she'd had enough, wandering around on her own.
This is the chorus from More Fool Me by Genesis off the album Selling England by the Pound. This is an early example of Phil Collins on lead vocals in a Genesis song, and this has such a good and strong melody. Now this song is somewhere between B flat and B on the original recording, but I'm going to analyze it in B here, as that's how they usually did it live. The chords here are A major 7 over B, E major 9 over B, B7 sus or F sharp minor 7 over B, and then E. And then the second half is E major 7, D sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7, C sharp minor 7, and then finally F sharp 7 sus to F sharp 7. This is more of a complex progression, but it's mostly staying in the key of B. We do have some outside chords with the A. You could think of that as being from B Mixolydian, but most of this is coming right from B major. And this one is also using the period form. So we have this 2-bar basic idea. Then this response. And then the basic idea again with some variation, which is a pretty common thing to do in this form. And then this final cadence. This one is really focused on the color tones of these extended chords. For example, on this first chord, the melody is on the major 7th. Really nice sound over this chord. Then we hit the 9th of E major 9. And then in the second phrase, we have the 7th of B7 sus and the 3rd of E. And then we get the 3rd of all of these next chords. 3rd, and then the 3rd of C sharp minor 7, and then the root of F sharp 7. 3rd Thirds and sevenths are the notes that give seventh chords their unique flavor, so landing on these in a melody almost always works. There's also this rhythmic figure present throughout all of these phrases. It's landing on the and of 4 each time, anticipating the next measure, and giving this melody a nice syncopated feel. The vocal harmonies here are adding quite a lot as well, but I'm going to stick to just talking about the melody in this lesson. And this melody has always been a favorite of mine. Genesis were so good at writing these hooky melodies over pretty interesting chord progressions. And there's all these slash chords in here as well, which are another Genesis staple. So there are 3 melodies you can study to help improve your melody writing. As I said, I think this is a skill that not enough musicians are focused on these days, but it's something that can drastically improve your music. If you'd like the sheet music from this lesson, you can join my Patreon. And if you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe, hit the bell notification, like, comment, share, and I will see you all in the next video. Till then, stay proggy.